Ditën e parë të panairit të librit 2022, ekipi televiziv i Pasqyrës Shqiptare në Tiranë pati rastin të njihet edhe me autorin suedes Stefan Nilsson. Një ditë më herët, në Beer Garden në Barbas të Daiasit, ai kishte promovuar mes miqve dhe të njohurve shqiptar romanin e tij të parë, Në hijen e Arratis, i bazuar mbi ngjarje të vërteta me protagonist shqiptar. Lidhja e Stefanit me Shqipërinë është shumë plançe. Si gazetar sportiv me profesion, atij i është dhënë rasti ta vizitojë vendin tonë qysh në vitin e largët 1988, duke u rikthyer për arsye nga më të ndryshmet në 10 herë. Vllai i tij është martuar me një shqiptare, por fijet më të forta që e lidhin me Shqipërinë janë padyshim miqësitë e tij të pastra me disa shqiptar, mes tyre edhe me të ndjerin Arben Fagu, por mbi të gjitha dëshira për të ndihmuar shtresat më të vobekta të shoqërisë shqiptare. Ardhet e shpeshta të Stefanit në Shqipëri, gjithmonë me një aparat fotografik në krah, dhe aftësia e tij për të vëzhguar ndryshimet e peizazhit urban shqiptar e bëjnë atë një personazh të këndshëm televiziv, shumë planësh dhe me një thirrje të natyrshme për të mbajtur gjallë kujtesën kolektive.
This is 1991. Some people lived in the bunkers. Queuing for the bread, 91. Sometimes it ended with the fights when the bread was not there anymore. This is from Shqiptare, the burnt out party headquarters in Shqiptare. Just outside here was the demonstration where some young people died in the beginning of 91. This is from Shqiptare, from they called it a mental handicapped children's hospital. And this is the main reason why I came back to Albania so many times. This place, because it was like coming to hell. At that time I had to decide, should I go home and try to forget, or should I do something? And what I did was that 7 weeks later we had a big truck at this place with food, clothes, everything what they needed. So we put it there, and we were so happy that we could help. And then some weeks later I heard that people had attacked this place and stolen everything, taking the clothes of the kids, taking their mattresses, taking everything.
Stefan, you just showed me some wonderful pictures. What's the relation between these pictures and your book?
I would say it's almost the same thing. It's a part of the story, because I've been here 38 or 39 times, and I take photos every time on Skanderbeg Square, every time on Pasqyra, to see the progress. And I've started in 1988, so I've very many photos. The book is full of memories, pictures, even though it's a novel.
Is this your first novel?
Yeah, it was my first novel. There is a second part to this one also, but I've only written two. I'm a sport journalist.
Why did you come to Albania in 1988?
I was here to see the game between Albania and Sweden in World Cup qualification in November, I think, November 88. Sweden won 2-1. I'm sorry about that.
Did you make new friendship with Albanian people here?
Not at that time, because as you can see from my photos from that time, I was not sure if I was allowed to take them or not.
Why did you dedicate your translation in Albanian to Arben Fagu?
Because he was a Shoguime, a very close friend of mine. I met him first time 94, 95, when we were bringing sport equipment from Sweden to Albania on a truck. And he had so many ideas how to use the uniforms, and we have like 2,500 uniforms and things like that. So he organized sport, and from then we invited him to Sweden, and he brought some other sport people, and he introduced me to other sport people in Albania, like his brother Agim. We became very close friends, so every time I was here I met Arben for some days. We were in Saranda together, we were traveling around in the country. So Arben was very, very close friend of mine. So I was so sorry when he passed away.
Stefanin e kem njohur rreth 5-6 vjet më parë. Ishte përpjekja e tij për të gjetur një botues për një roman që kishte botuar në Suedi në titullin Në hijen e Arratis. Pavarësisht se romani ishte botuar në Suedi, romani fliste kryesisht për Shqipërinë. personazhet aty janë fiktiv, ngjarjet janë reale. Të bën të risjellësh në mendje momente të vështira që ka kaluar Shqipëria, të cilat shpesh përpiqemi t'i lëmë pas, edhe ne që i kemi jetuar. Dhe vjen si kujtesë në kuptimin që asnjëherë, në asnjë rast, e kaluara nuk duhet ta shmangim, sepse është e kaluara që formëson të tashmen dhe do të formësojë edhe të ardhmen tonë.
Ai mban qëndrim kritik ndaj diktaturës?
Ai mban një qëndrim asnjanës. Ai thjesht i paraqet faktet ashtu siç janë. Natyrisht personazhet e tij kanë qëndrime kritike ose jo kritike në varësi të personazheve. Ndërsa Stefani qëndron asnjanës, i lë personazhe të flasin.
It doesn't matter if you're Albanian or Swedish or American, whatever, or Canadian. It doesn't matter because you need to look in the rear back mirror to go forward. And I think that people here need to know about the communist time. You need to remember how it was because it's easy to forget when rough times come, when everything is expensive. It's good to remember how it was when you were not allowed to speak the way you wanted. The history is there, even though if you don't like it. And the same with the transition period during the 90s, when it was so, in many ways, terrible here, when people were starving and there was a lack of everything. There are always men somewhere all over the world that want to decide about other people's thinking. It's so easy to forbid some things, to forbid this, or I mean we have a discussion in Sweden now about these things also, because you can cut a little piece in the edge and then suddenly you have cut more and more and more. So it's a part of that to remember how it starts. I mean, if you compare with the right or left, communist or fascism or whatever, it's always men that want the power and they want to keep ordinary people down. Democracy is a hard work.